Hey everyone, what's up? My name is Mike. I'm at Druid City Games, and I'm here today to show you around the solo mode for Wonderland's War. Now, this is a solo mode that's not included in the original base game. It just wasn't really one of the considerations when they were making that. We did develop this, and we've now released it in the new upcoming Wonderland's War expansion that includes the Caterpillar and White Queen playable factions. So we're going to dig into that. We're also going to take a look at a lot of the content that's in that expansion, and that includes a new playable faction, the White Queen. I'll be playing that myself today. We're going to be looking at some of the new ally cards, and we're going to be playing with some of the new Wonderlandians. So we're going to unpack a lot of this stuff and dig right in. The solo mode is based on a rival and tactics card system. So at the start of the game, you're going to set this up. You're going to choose your rival. Now there's one rival for every different playable faction. You shouldn't choose your own faction. I guess you could, but it would just be kind of weird. But the faction that you're playing against, you're going to get their rival card laid out in the center of their play area, and this is going to kind of replace their faction board. So you don't use the faction board for that character, but it does have a lot of the same information. There's also some special abilities that pertain to the solo mode, but one of the most important things is that you see in the top left corner of this card here, there are a couple of those little dots up there. Those are difficulty pips. And the more pips you have, the more challenging this rival is going to be. Today we're playing as Cheshire Cat, which is 2 out of 4 pips, so it's kind of the mid-zone there. Hopefully I should be able to beat this guy, because I sure have played the solo mode a lot. If I don't, it's going to be very embarrassing. I want everyone to make fun of me. So the one other thing here is that you'll notice that this little top line below that leader strength trait, there is a special power that the Cheshire Cat has. And all these abilities below there are all unique for all the characters. So the Cheshire Cat is going to do a thing where during setup you replace the Cheshire Cat's double madness chip with 2 single madness chips. So let's go ahead and do that now. I've got these set aside. We're going to dump those in the bag, get rid of this thing, and we're good to go. All the other abilities, you just have to kind of keep those in mind. I'll explain those as those come up, but basically just keep in mind that that all of the rivals have different spreads of abilities, and that's the thing that kind of dials in and lets you know like how difficult they are. The higher difficulty rivals tend to have stronger abilities that have more splashy and wider and weirder effects. Once we've selected our rival card, we're going to set up a few of those components for the rival. I've done that all here. And we're going to shuffle up this deck of cards called the Tactics deck. We're going to flip it over so we reveal the top card. Okay, the Tactics deck is going to be kind of making a lot of the decisions that you would need to as the rival. Some of them are kind of algorithmic based on what this card is, and then others are just kind of based on the rules. So you know, I'll touch on those as we go, but you'll see that obviously a lot of things on this card, but we're only going to refer to certain parts of it at certain times. Okay. Once you've set the rival up, the rest of the setup is pretty much identical to the 2-player game. There are a couple of quirks with that. Remember that whenever you play with 2 players, everyone gets an extra forge chip in their bag. So we start with 11 chips, 12 for the Cheshire because they have the extra madness chip. You also start with one of the regions closed. For the solo mode, you're always going to close off the red keep. So we're going to put a little quest card over that to remind us of that. We have our leaders starting at the head of the table, and in the solo mode, the human player always goes first. That's me. I'm a human. So I'm going to take the first turn. I'm going to look over here. But first, let's talk about a little bit more of the new content. So I'm not going to talk about the allies yet. Those are the new E set of allies, which are included in the expansion. And today I'm playing as the White Queen. The White Queen's kit is based around chess pieces and being able to kind of deploy those out to the board, and all the chess pieces kind of give you certain abilities and unlock certain effects. You'll see here, and these are obviously bear with us here, the tabletop simulator is not the final version. These are obviously have miniatures and stuff and standees if you prefer those. But we have a couple of unique pieces on the board here. We have a knight and a bishop, and those are kind of replacing a couple of the White Queen's faction unlock markers. That's because whenever you unlock those faction abilities, you actually deploy those pieces out onto the board. They count as units, but not supporters, and they do come with certain special abilities. So I'll kind of talk about those more as we get there. We start with the king in your supply of supporters. And of course, your White Queen herself is a chess piece. The chess pieces have certain properties to them that give you advantages in battle, right? So the White Queen, her little leader ability allows you to place these chess pieces at whatever you could place supporters. So it's almost like a Wonderland in your personal supply, like an undeployed Wonderland, and you can deploy it in place of a supporter. It doesn't count as a supporter for special effects and stuff, but just remember that. So the other thing about these chess pieces is whenever you start a battle and you have one or more chess pieces in the region, you have to draw an opening chip. The White Queen, she has a strong opening. White always plays first, right? So with the opening chips, you draw one chip from your bag and resolve it before anybody else gets to do anything in the fight. And that's important because you get a little bit of an advantage, but also because all of your chess pieces are kind of influencing and they care about those opening chips. The different ones kind of give them different powers and stuff, right? The other thing about these opening chips is that if you draw an opening madness chip, then you do not lose units from that chip. You just ignore the losses, you put it right into your madness track, and you continue the battle from there, okay? So we'll see those. I'm going to try and kind of build around some of these things, really kind of flex and show what the White Queen's kit can do. But we'll see how it goes. I don't know. It could actually fall apart on me. So, all right. So we have our starting quest here. One of the things about the quest is, obviously the AI isn't really going to be able to make those decisions about quests. So whenever the AI would get a quest, they just instead set it aside, and they get 5 points on the spot. So Cheshire Cat is starting with 5 points because we both, of course, start with a quest card. That includes if you draw 2, keep 1. The Cheshire Cat just is going to draw a quest and put it in the little scoring pile over here. But my personal quests are Call the Banners, 4 or more Tea Party cards with 3 supporters, which is fine. I do want to put out a bunch of supporters because I have a certain line in play that I want to try out with this White Queen. So I think I like this one. This one is pretty cool, but different types of allied ships. I think I might not go for that. So yeah, let's go with the Meadow of Living Flowers objective over here. We're going to toss this, get it out of here, and that's going to be it. So I'm going to go ahead and start with the first turn. I am going to be looking at these, and I think I want to start with this. Yeah, let's do it. So I'm going to go here, and this card right here, I'm going to get 1 supporter, and I'm going to choose the top half of this card. Since I played first, I did actually start with 2 shards, as you do in the 2-player game. I hope that's right. I'm not going to check the rules. I hope it is, and if it's not, too bad. So I'm going to get the faction upgrade. I'm going to dump 1 of my shards, and the faction upgrade, I'm going to go right in and get my knight. And I think I want to put that in the... Let's do it. Let's go to Meadow of Living Flowers right out of the gates. I'll also put 1 of my other supporters there. I could choose to place the king, but I already have a chess piece there, and I think I'm going to kind of park with this. You know what? I'm going to back that up because that doesn't fit with my plans. I'm going to try actually going to Pool of Tears and then put that here. All right. Notice that I got to put that knight out because with that faction upgrade, part of that is to immediately unlock and then deploy the knight. So the knight is, if I draw an opening chip in the knight's region with a base strength of 1 or 2, I can immediately place a supporter into that region. All right, so if I have smaller, chips that are not doing big, huge numbers, then that's okay because I can get a little bit of value out of them anyways. Okay, so that's my turn. I did all that stuff, struck that, got that, cool. I'll keep this off to the side. All right, so let's talk about the solo player's turn. So the rival is going to take their turn. First off, make sure you kind of internalize all this stuff on their card. I'm going to talk about how they forge and stuff later. Don't worry about that right now. So those top 2 yellow lines, don't worry about that. At the bottom there is what happens whenever the Cheshire Cat would get a faction upgrade. They just get that effect instead. So what it'll do is it's going to be a way for the Cheshire Cat to add madness chips to my bag. You can see add 1 madness chip to your bag, and then the Cheshire Cat forges 1 chip from the supply. So if that comes up, we'll talk about that. The main takeaway there is that we want to watch out for any time that the Cheshire Cat could get a faction upgrade, because that's going to dump madness in our bag, and we probably want to avoid that. So let's take a look at the top card of the tactics deck. Now this is called the active card of the tactic, or excuse me, the active tactic card. And this is going to give us some information about how the rival is going to make decisions during their turn. So the top number, or the number on the top left there, that 3, and that little up arrow are going to tell us how some of the behavior is going to work out during the tea party. The Cheshire Cat is going to move 3 spaces, and that does skip over empty spaces, and it does skip past the spaces that you occupy. So we're going to move 3 spaces clockwise around the track. So 1, 2, 3. All right, that's going to get this card. If there was a choice like top or bottom here, then that little arrow would tell you it chooses the top option. If we had a card like this one that had an optional thing in there, like, oh, you can get the bottom thing if you roll the die, then it would only do that if it had the down arrow. So that's going to kind of help you make all the decisions that you need to during the tea party. In this case, it's going to get a leader strength, which are going to track on the card itself. I'll increase the leader strength to 2. We'll also get a forge chip for the Cheshire Cat. That is going to roll the shard die, and they just roll the shard die like normal, so we'll just accumulate those. That'll be 1. For TTS, or Tabletop Simulator, I'm going to use this little counter to keep track of our shards. And we're also going to place 3 supporters. Now the supporters, just like in the base game, all go to the same place. And the location is going to be based on the active tactic card that you see right there in the top left, or excuse me, top right corner. This one is actually going to go to the zone where the starting battle marker is. So let's pick up a set of 3 little kitties and put them up here in the pool of tears, which I don't like, but it's fine. Everything's fine. Everything's fine. So we're going to set this aside. Great. And then we're going to take this tactic card, toss it. Okay. Alright, so back to my turn. I can do anything I want. I can get some creatures and a quest. I can also get some card soldiers, but what I think I really want to do is actually skip ahead and get this. It doesn't really get my quest stuff going yet, but I think I want it, so I'm going to take it. Let's get a Wonderlandian, and we have a few options here. Crown of the Knave, March Hare is nice. And Alice's Courage. This is one of the new Wonderlandian cards. All of the Wonderlandians that are in the expansion are using the leaders from the previous expansions, or the base game, and actually from the expansion as well. So one of the factions in the expansion is the Caterpillar. Caterpillar has a standee and a mini and the chips in the base game. But it's also the faction leader in the expansion. So like we wanted to make a full cycle of those, where now all Wonderlandians are, now all the faction leaders have sets of Wonderlandians that you can play with when you're not using them during the game. So in this case, we can use Alice here. That would get us a couple of those chips in our bag. And it's when played, gain 1 strength for each of your other Wonderlandian cards. Now I kind of like this because I can take these 1s, get a lot of strength for them, and also combine those with the Knight's ability that lets us deploy supporters in the region, because it does only check base strength, right? So I think I want to try this out and see if I can get this to work. Maybe I can get a bunch of Wonderlandians with like low strength values that have cool abilities. We'll see. So I have this. I'm going to grab the 2 chips for Alice. Give me these little things here. Is this it? Where is it? There we go. Put these in my bag. All right. Cool. And I also get 1 allied chip of any kind. Now I like those low strength cards. I kind of like the Flamingo, which is this is the new E set of allies. This is exclusive to the expansion that's coming out. The first Flamingo you play each battle gains 2 strength. If you have exactly 2 active flamingos after forging, draw a quest. So this is a good way to get a lot of quests going. The E creature is, if this chip is weak, it gains 1 strength for each of your completed feats. If it is strong, it loses 1 strength for each of your completed feats. I kind of want to do my feats. I kind of want to do my quests here, so I might stay away from the creatures this game, but it could be a really good way to get those strong creatures and have them be 5s. Or if you want your weak creatures to be a lot stronger, you just do a lot of quests and focus on it. I don't think I'm going to focus hard enough on quests to really get that rolling, though. The Red Rook is the normal 3/6. When played, you cannot halt until you place another chip on your active track. So it makes it a little risky to draw towards the end of battle when you're close to busting. The roses are each team may complete a feat, gain 1 VP for each of your forged and active roses. Each time you forge a strong rose, you may add a weak rose to your bag. So this increases the scoring value every time you complete a feat. So the more of these you forge and the more of you have active, the more points you can get, which is good. I do like that 2 power. I think I might get that. We'll see. And then the card soldiers. When played, this chip gains strength equal to the total number of your forged and other active card soldier chips. So the more card soldiers you have, the stronger they are. I think I'm going to try out the rose. I kind of like it. I kind of like the flamingo too, but I might see if I can get both. We'll see. So we'll toss that in the bag, and that's my whole turn, my whole life. And next up is Cheshire Cat. So Cheshire Cat is going to move 1 space clockwise. They're going to take the top half of the card, but there's no top half there. All right, and we are going to place 2 supporters in Wit's End. And we have, what else? 2 card soldiers in the bag and a die roll. All right. Okay. Let's get that die roll going. Yep. 2 shards. That's what I like to see. Take all the shards you want. Okay, so now I have to watch out. I know that next round he's going to roll a 2, so he's probably going to end up maybe here, so depending on where I go. Let's take a look. So I can get more roses. I can get some forging. I also need to get 3 supporters on a card, which that seems less and less likely. I think I'm going to go out here. Let's get some quests going. So I don't have a lot of supporters on the board, which is going to really be a problem for me. But here I have a flamingo chip. I have 1 supporter. Let's put that in Meadow. Yeah, let's do Meadow. And I have a quest, and I'll draw that, put it into my hand, and a battle on a forge symbol in the pool of tears. I can probably do that. And if I unlock all of my faction abilities, great. Seems easy. Okay, so I have all this. What else did I miss? 1 supporter out. That was it. Okay. Okay, the Cheshire Cat is going to go. Cheshire Cat's going to move 2 spaces clockwise. And it's going to deploy 2 supporters to the Pool of Tears. What do you know? Yikes. Oops. Alright. 2 supporters of Pool of Tears. We have another die roll, thank goodness. And more roses. Okay. All right. So, what else do we have? Die roll. What a good day this is. All right, 1 shard for the Shard Lord. Okay, great. Now I think I've actually been doing this wrong. I'm realizing now you're not actually supposed to reveal this card for solo mode until after you've already taken your turn. So I'm going to leave this now. I'm going to start playing right instead of the play that I want to play. So okay, so I can take this card, or I can just do my lap and see what comes up. I'm pretty far behind on shards, so let's go. Let's roll the dice. 1. See, everything's great. What an easy game this is. I'm going to reveal these cards here. So I really want more Wonderlandians, and I really want some faction upgrades. Probably Wonderlandians, though, honestly. I forgot to refill this. Our new Wonderlandian is the Unicorn. Ooh, that's pretty good. I would really like these with chips, though. I feel like getting chips with the low value strength and the knight and the everything. That's what I want. Okay, but I also need some supporters on the board and some threes. I just need everything, really. That's what I'm trying to say. I've taken 3 cards. Remember, in 2-player game, you do take 5 cards each tea party, so that's going to be a little bit of a change. I can stop here, dump a shard, which I don't really need, and get a rook that I don't really super want. Although, I mean, opening rooks are good. The rooks, you know, it's a good chip anyways. What I really want, I think, is this. 3 supporters, strike a shard, and that gets me my 2nd flamingo, which I like. But I have to jump so far ahead. I'm going to do it. Because I wanted to go to that Wonderland anyways. So let's get it. Okay. Get my 2nd flamingo. Let's go, flamingo family. Dumping a shard. 3 supporters. And let's put these... I kind of want to go for like 2nd place here. See if I can get like 1 more supporter there. That would be pretty cool. I think I want to go for 3 in Wit's End. What I'd really like to do is I want to get a faction upgrade, and I want to get this pawn promotion faction ability. It says at the end of each battle, if you have an active pendant chip, meaning one of my artifacts, you can lose a unit from any region to place or move a chess piece into that region. So it could be from my supply, it could be from, you know, out on the board already. What I'd really like to do is I would like to be able to just like use my knight in the first battle, have an active artifact, hopefully, and then move this knight over here and return a supporter with the supply. Then I can use that knight. I'll be able to draw an opening chip because he counts as a chess piece, right? And then if it's a 1 or 2 that I draw, which hopefully I'm going to be loading my bag up with a lot of those, I'll be able to add more supporters to the board and just get like a lot of value that way. At least that's how it's working in my mind. Let's see if it actually works like that. So I got my 3 supporters. I put them in Wit's End. And now it's the Cheshire Cat's turn. Cheshire Cat's 4th turn of the tea party is gonna be moving 2, taking the card that I didn't want them to take. It's fine. Everything's fine. They're gonna be placing 3 supporters. Those are gonna go to the meadow. Again, not what I wanted. Ooh, this Cheshire Cat's taking me to town. Okay. Move, Cheshire Cat. Gosh, get out of my mouse. Okay. We're going to choose the bottom half of this card. So they are going to take a Wonderlandian. Whenever they take a Wonderlandian, they're going to take it from the top of the deck at random. They're going to place anything that they get, any units that they get, including the standees from the Wonderlandian cards, are going to go to the same space shown on their active tactic card. So we're going to get the White Rabbit standee. We're going to place that in the meadow also to make sure that I lose these delicious 2 points. Okay, they do get to keep this card. One note is that the Wonderlandian cards in the base game were not really made or designed with a solo mode in mind. A lot of them require like certain specific choices that you would make. The best way to do that, to address that for the solo mode, was just to cull those cards out of the Wonderlandian deck. So you end up with 36 cards, you chop it down to like 20. So you're only playing with some of the deck. But all these have been, you know, reviewed, and they all work just fine. So, alright, White Rabbit, after placing your 2nd active chip, gain the strength of all your active chips again. No choices there, no problem. The dummy here can handle that. But it will probably be a problem for me, because I don't want that to happen. Alright, what else we got on this tea party card? We got 3 supporters. Yep, they went out. And the Wonderlandian. That also went out. Great. Cool. No problem. Alright, this is my last card. I would really like another Wonderlandian, because this is going to clear next round. This is a pretty cool chip. I feel like with this, I could get some cool synergies going. Like I can draw this as an opening chip, I get a little bit of a head start, and then my opponent also kind of falls behind in their next ride. So, unfortunately, there are no Wonderlandians out here. If I can't get that, I probably want to take a faction unlock so I can get this pawn promotion effect. Also pretty cool. I don't really know if I can get that engine online yet, though. But one thing I can do, I mean, I'm still really far behind on shards. I can just see what comes up. So, yeah. Let's roll the dice. I will take a shard. I will refill a couple spaces out here. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. This is what we like. Oh, it's going to hurt so bad. But I'm going to do it. Oh. Okay. The worst day of my life. I will get one supporter, and I can choose where to put it. Let's go Tulgi. Hopefully we can get some free points there. And then I'm going to roll the die again. And go to 4. Oh, and that will let me put out 3 more supporters, and those can go anywhere I like. These... Oh boy. I mean, do I really... I guess I can just put them out here. This is fine. Everything's great. Because, you know, if best comes to best... No, I won't be able to do that this round. But, you know, it's still not bad. Having a nice little reserve of these means that I can sacrifice them for the night later. Look at me using chess terminology, sacrificing things. Okay, so I lost track of everything that I was doing because I was having such a nice time. I got the 3, I got the 1, and I'm going to get a Wonderlandian. I'm going to do exactly what I said I would. I'm going to do what I promised and get this Crown of the Knave. It's going to be 45 minutes to find it. Yeah, there it is. All right. And put those in my bag. So we got a lot of 1s and a lot of 2s and a lot of nonsense, but hopefully these abilities are going to come together and it's going to be real cool. Okay, so that was our 5th and final pick in the Tea Party, but the White Cat, or the Cheshire Cat, gets to pick 1 more. They're going to move 1 space clockwise. Are they going to get the extra thing? They sure are, unfortunately for me. So they're going to roll the die for this card. They're going to take 1 shard. They're choosing the bottom half because it has the bottom arrow on their active tactic card. They get the 1 shard. They will also place 2 in Tulgi Wood now! Not where I wanted you to go. I wanted that to not happen. And they will get 1 chip of any kind. So if there's like a wild chip that comes up and you're like, wait, what do they want? Guess what? It's on the card. These guys want creatures, so they're going to take a weak creature. Unfortunately for me, these do count as completed feats, and they're actually about to get another one. Oh boy. So that creature is beefy, and they just got another 5-point head start. Alright, don't worry about that too much. We're giving them some extra points, but like it kind of offsets the fact that the rival is a little bit stupid. So don't worry about it too much yet. That's what I'm trying to tell myself. Tell myself I'm not losing this game. Alright, so that was the 5th and final choice there. Now I get to do whatever I want with my White Queen. Remember, my White Queen does count as a chess piece, meaning that I will get an opening draw in that region. But I do have a kind of a nerfed leader strength track because of that. I actually start with 0 leader strength, and I didn't get any this round. I don't think I did I? I think actually only Cheshire Cat did. No, I didn't get any. So I have a 0 strength leader, but I get to draw a chip, so it's fine. I'm going to tell myself it's like basically a 10 strength leader. This probably should go over here so I don't get hosed. I would have liked to migrate that knight over here and hopefully get another piece yet, but I do not have the faction ability upgrades yet. So we're going to see if I can win this region. I like this. I could go to Tulgi Woods, but I know that their active card is going to tell you where their leader goes. So I know that they're heading to Tulgi Wood anyway. So this is going to go here. So I could have gone here, but I don't really love my chances there. I think I'd rather just get the more likely win up here. All right, so first round of the battle is not looking great for me, but it's okay. I'm optimistic. I feel great. I need to pull out another cube. Excuse me, Mad Hatter. Hello. Don't mind if I do, because remember in the 2-player version of the game, you do have kind of a little dummy player on the an additional dummy is on the battle track here. It's going to start off at 3 strength, and that's, you can't get second place points in the battle unless you beat that number. It goes to 5 and then 7, I think, in rounds 2 and 3. So we'll see if that's going to be a problem for me. Okay, so starting off battle with the pool of tears, the stakes are 4 points. I do care about this a little bit. I can just want to end battle on a forge symbol. So that's cool. I don't mind that. Okay. So let's talk about these real quick. So whenever the Cheshire Cat goes to forge a chip, they always choose and forge a forged chip. Okay, so they get the same forge opportunities that you would, like from cards forging the supply, or if you have a forged chip on your active track at the end of battle, whatever it is. And then also in the Cheshire Cat's case, every time they get a faction upgrade, you can see at the bottom of that card there, part of that effect is that they'll forge a forged chip from the supply. Okay, so they can get some forged chips rolling. The number of forged, now there's no forged track for the rival. Instead, you're just going to set those forged chips off to the side of the rival card, and those just pile up over time, and the number of those forged chips is going to define those X variables in these abilities here. So you can see in that first line there, each time the Cheshire Cat refreshes his bag during battle, he gains X strength and X victory points. So if he has 3 forges that he's done, then he would get 3 strength and 3 VP on the spot the first time he refreshes his bag in each battle, if that makes sense. Also, every 2 forged chips you have there, you're going to get 1 artifact to your bag, and we have the other artifacts set aside here. Okay. So those are the Cheshire Cat's abilities here that we care about during battle. All right, so let's look here. Now, the behavior in battle is determined by the active tactic card. Okay, so this is going to remain, unlike during the Tea Party where you reveal a new one every time it's time for them to take a turn. The active tactic card is going to kind of tell you when they that little top line there with the red hand is going to tell you the conditions under which the rival will halt. Okay, so if the rival only has 1 unit remaining in the battle, that's when they'll halt. Okay. Sometimes below that you'll see a special ability. In this case, the rival gains +2 forge count while this tactic is active. Okay, so it's as though they had 2 more forge chips for the purposes of that X. Okay, so like if they go to refresh their bag, even though they wouldn't have any forge chips, they would still get 2 strength, 2 VP. Keep that in mind. And then the re-strategize line at the bottom, that's whenever they're going to choose and draw a new card to replace their active tactic. Okay, and that can happen in the middle of battle. So if the rival, for example, draws a madness chip, they're going to re-strategize. They're going to say, oh, I'm changing my mind. This changes everything. I'm going to pivot to a whole new strategy. We're going to reveal a new card from the deck, and then that's going to tell you when they halt and when they re-strategize as well. So it's possible for them to like kind of redirect multiple times during battle. They might get some abilities. They may end up with new abilities during the fight. So those are things that we're going to have to kind of try and work around that may end up surprising us. So let's see how it goes. Meanwhile, over here, so the starting strength in the pool of tears is going to be 0 for both players. Even though the knight is there, the knight isn't actually doesn't have a strength value. It's just it's basically like a supporter. Again, it's not a supporter; it's just a unit, but it's it's there not providing strength. The thing that the knight does do is it's going to give us that opening chip. So in here, before the Cheshire Cat gets to draw anything at all, I'm going to shuffle this up. Hopefully I'm going to draw 1, so I'll be able to use this knight's ability here. All right, hey, it's a flamingo. This is fantastic. All right, flamingo is 1 strength, so it does trigger the knight effect, but the flamingo, the first flamingo you play each battle gains 2 strength. If you have exactly 2 active flamingos after forging, you draw a quest. I would love to draw a quest because I would love to complete quests, so I can do cool things. Now, the knight's effect is going to, place a supporter into the region as long as my opening chip has a strength of 1 or 2, and that is a base strength of 1 or 2, meaning that it does trigger even though the flamingo adds to its own strength, because its base strength is 1 right now. So this is great. I'm going to place my very last supporter out here. I'm still definitely going to get my butt whipped, but, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I drew my opening chip. I need to get my 1 strength for it. Perfect. and we're ready to go. So for this, we're just going to draw at the same time and resolve these chips as they come. So I got Alice, which is base strength 1, but of course this is not an opening chip anymore. Alice, remember, is going to get 1 strength for each of your other Wonderlandian cards, so she's going to be a 2 strength chip. That puts me up to 3, and they drew a Rose, which is a 2. We're going to put this along the top edge of their card, which is their active track. Cool, cool. Some of the allies require you to choose things. They might have certain context and stuff like that. The expansion rulebook does have a breakdown of like certain things that you might care about with those. In this case, the Red Rose doesn't have any other special effects. It's just a 2/3 chip for them. I think, hopefully, if memory serves me well. So we have 2 strength for them. Okay, they did not trigger their halt condition, and they did not trigger their re-strategize condition, so they're going to keep going like normal. I know that they're going to keep going. I know that they're not going to halt. That is a certain advantage that I have, but hey, that's why we give them 10 points for free, right? Perfect. All right, our next draw, I'm not halting. I'm going in forever. I've drawn a 2. That's my faction chip there. What a good day. And they have drawn up Madness. Wow. I remember my first game of Wonderland's War. They're going to lose a unit. And gain no strength. And now I'm faced with a decision. Well, actually, before that, let's talk about this. They drew a Madness chip. So after this little draw here, they are going to re-strategize. They've changed their mind about everything. This one. So this is an aggressive tactic card. The rival does not halt voluntarily. They re-strategize if they bust or if they win the battle. So this means that they're going. They're in this fight. They're ready to rumble. But at the start of the battle, and when this tactic is revealed, the rival places 1 supporter in the region. Great. So they're back to 155 supporters here. No problem. Okay. So I can halt here, and if I do, I can complete my quest. I can forge a thing. I don't really want to forge either of these, though. Yeah, I actually really want to not forge those, in fact. I always do this. Of course, I forgot the Madness chips. They're going to drop to 3. We're going to give them a single Madness, or 2 single Madness, and I will take 1 single Madness. We'll just pretend we did that, because I'm certainly not backing it up. That's the best part about solo mode, is you can cheat all you want. Okay, so, and now I've already lost track of what I was doing. I did actually place this. Okay, I do have a chip that I wouldn't cry if I had to forge this. I could stop here. But at the same time, like, I don't know. Maybe I want to keep going just a little bit, see if I can hit this one. No. Mike, the smart thing to do is to stop here. So I'm going to halt. But of course the rival didn't know that. They have to draw a chip anyways. It's a forge. That's the thing that I didn't want to happen, but it's okay. They gain 1 strength. Cool. Okay. I have halted. They can continue, and they in fact will. So they're going to draw again. That's another 2. Boop, boop. Again, remember, they only halt if they bust or if they win the battle. They only halt if rather, they don't halt voluntarily. So they're just going to keep going until they literally cannot go anymore. We're going to draw again, and that is the creature. It's the 1 plus, remember, these 2. Because it's the weak creature gets +1 strength for each of your completed feats. So this is going to be a 3 strengther. No! Alright. Okay, and that's going to be the end of the battle. Remember, they're the single player, they're in the lead. They cannot draw any more chips. They're forced to halt there by the rules of the game, and by the rules of this, if the rival wins a battle, then they're going to re-strategize. So we'll go ahead and flip that now. Okay. So the rival won 4 points for that. 1, 2, 3, 4. They're going to get the castle. And remember, in 2 players, this is kind of weird, we're going to lay a castle down and it's going to count as a half castle. It doesn't give you strength yet, it doesn't score the points, but if they win this region again, then we're going to flip it all the way up, and that will count as a full castle, giving you the strength and the VP rewards at the end of the game. Even though the rival doesn't have a faction board, they can't like upgrade the value of their castles, or at least the Cheshire Cat can't. But the castles are still worth 3 victory points apiece at their base value for the cat at the end of the game. Okay, so they did that. They are also going to get to forge 2 times because of once here for landing on this delicious little hammer, and then once for this. Okay, so we're going to lay this over here for the first forge. Whenever they forge from something else, they're going to take a forge chip from the supply and place it over there. Okay, so they don't even need to lose one of their chips. The reason mainly is because we don't want them to have to choose. We don't want you choosing for them, right? So these chips are going to go down here. Since they did 2 forge chips, we're actually going to give them an artifact in their bag, which I hate. And that's it. From now on, of course, they have these 2, so every time they refresh their bag during battle, they're going to get 2 strength and 2 victory points immediately. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm going to get 2 points because I did come in 2nd place in this fight. I'm on the board. I'm a real person now. I'm a real boy. And I get to forge. I'm going to forge this. Where on earth do I want it? Probably on here. Let's get that quest as soon as we can. And also, let's dump some shards, please. All right. Is that supposed to be there? I feel like it's not. Uh-oh, that might be a typo. We'll see. I'm just gonna play it. I'm gonna play it as it is, and hopefully it gives me a huge advantage. All right, so we have that battle is complete. I'm going to exhaust my chips. Let's take a look at this new tactic card over here. At the start of the battle or when revealed, the rival refreshes their bag. So, or when revealed, they're going to refresh. And that, of course, gets them 2 victory points because they refreshed during battle. Actually, you know what? I think it's only at the start of the battle or when revealed they refresh their bag, but it's only if you refresh their bag during battle. This wasn't revealed until the end of battle, so this was not actually done yet. So I'm going to pull these out. Hopefully I remember which ones they were, and if I don't care. Cool. I think this is it. We've reset the timeline. We've repaired everything. It's all great. Or no, wait, sorry, we didn't need to do that. We still refresh the bag, but we don't need to do it during battle, meaning they just don't get the 2 points. Whoa. All right. So minus 2 points there. Sorry. Now I've repaired the timeline. Now everything's wonderful. I think I got everything. So now we're going to move to the next battle. Over here, my White Queen is starting with a whopping 0 strength. But I do get an opening chip draw, which is delightful. They start with 0 strength as well, so we're going to reset these. And I'm going to draw my opener. Let's go! It's a 1, which is fine, but I don't get my little knight bonus. I don't get to place a supporter over there. So I'm just going to get the 1 strength, like a nerd. And now we begin the fight. All right, my first draw is... Ooh, the Knave or the Crown of Hearts, or whatever that thing is. I don't even know. The Crown of the Knave. That's what it was. I said some of those words. The next chip each opponent draws has 0 strength, and that strength cannot be increased by other effects. Wonderful. Manus chip. Ha! Speaking of nerds. All right, so we got that, and now I'll get my 1 strength. Perfect. Okay, I don't have any quests here, right? Don't, but I did actually, I forgot I completed this quest, so. All right. Second draw. Let's go. When do they, I forgot to look at this. If the rival draws 2 Manus in a row, they're going to halt. At the end of any battle, or if I draw 2 Manus in a row, they're going to re-strategize. Okay. So we're good to draw our next chip. Mine is Madness, of course. We're going to knock a supporter back, and their second draw is this stupid creature. That's going to give them 3 strength. Boop, boop, boop. Okay. And let's see. Oh, it's actually not going to give them 3 strength. It's actually going to give them 0 strength. I remember what I was doing now. The crown and the knaves. That was the best case scenario. We just got them. Ha! All right. Next draw. Third draw is going to be my Flamingo. My first Flamingo I draw in each battle gains 2 strength. So it'll be 3 for me. Meanwhile, this loser is going to draw an artifact chip. 2, 3. The artifact chips aren't buffed by anything. They're just, they're just cool. They're good. Unless, of course, the Rivals card says that they are. Specifically, unlike in the all the factions, they have unlockable abilities that you can use to kind of increase the value of your artifacts, but not here, not the case, not today. All right, we still have not hit any of these re-strategize or halt conditions, so we're both in, and I'm certainly not halting. So let's go. I got a forge. That's good for 1 strength. Boop. And that is another madness. I believe they actually just busted. Cool. Okay. So they have busted. I have won the day. And I will get to the spoils of victory. 2 points for me. I will also get to forge 1 thing. Yes, get this out of my life. I don't want it. I'm going to grab this. Even though it's not a 1 or a 2, it does have some synergies with that pawn promotion effect. So I want to get 1 or maybe 2 artifacts. Not a ton, but enough. Enough to have a good time. Of course, both my flamingos are separated. I will not be drawing quests from them. Makes me very sad, but also I got some good value out of them anyway. So, okay, and I get my little half castle. Cool. All right. Exhausting our chips. Cool. And they do actually re-strategize because at the end of any battle, they are going to flip the new card. They are currently confident. They only halt if they have 1 unit remaining, or if their strength exceeds the, if my strength exceeds the rivals by 6 or more. They're going to re-strategize if the rival draws a 1 strength chip. Okay. Resetting. We're going to move down here for, 6 points that I'm not going to get. Who knows? We'll see. They're going to start with 2 strength because they're Cheshire Cat leader in the region. Well, what's it like to have a leader with strength? Oh my gosh. And then I don't get any opening chips because I have no chess pieces here, but we're just going to draw our normal chips like regular humans. They get a 2. I will get a 3. Thanks for that artifact that I just got. Cashing in dividends right away. Do I want to halt? Probably not. Now let's ride. Let's go. Okay, well I die. I could use my shield. I mean, it's 3 points, right? Like, I can see what they drew. They draw a 1. So like I can get like 1 more strength even would let me score 3 points, which is nice. And it could also save me a unit. At the same time, we have pretty even odds over here, so I kind of don't want to dump my shield. Over here, I also kind of want 2 or 6 active chips. I think I might just eat it. Yeah, okay. They also did draw 1 strength chip, so they're going to re-strategize here at the end of this fight. So, yeah, they can have it. They can have it. Got that. And 6 points for them. All right. It's going to look like I'm getting smoked, but of course we're counting their quests up front instead of, and not my quests. I'm going to score all those in the back end. And of course they're going to be making some dumb decisions because they're not even a real person. So hopefully I'll be able to catch up. That's what I'm going to keep telling myself. Really bolster my confidence here. Okay, and then over here in the Meadow of Living Flowers, they will start with 0 strength from the White Rabbit, but they're going to get a bunch more, which I hate. They're also coming up on that bag refresh. All right. And this was, sorry, they re-strategized the end of last battle, so they actually do a refresh now, which is really kind of working against this poor cat. What a poor, unfortunate kitty. There's only a couple of these effects in the whole deck. This is skittish again, so remember they're going to halt if they draw 2 manas in a row, or if I draw 2 manas in a row. They also re-strategize at the end of any battle. Okay. Reset the numbers here. You know what, they did actually get a forge at the end of that fight. I did forget about that. So they are going to get yet another forge chip over here from the forge track positions. Yikes. And then we're going to reset. And we're going. I get an opening chip over here because I got my king. Let's go, king. Ka-chow. Alice is going to give me, well, I need to exhaust my chips, though. There we go. Alice is going to give me 2 total strength, which is fine. All right, let's go. Normal chips. Cheshire is drawing 3. I will draw a 3. Cool. 1, 2, 3. Great. No problem. We didn't draw 2 mana chips, so nobody's re-strategizing and nobody's halting. I will draw a 1 that is backwards, and they will draw a madness. Algorithmically, they lose their supporters before they lose any of their standees. Plus, your second active chips are going to get these again. Ooh. This is so bad. All right, so I got my 1. They got madness. Next up, let's go. Forge versus a 1. I'll get my 1, we'll get their 1, and then unfortunately this dumb white rabbit is going to give them 4 more strength because of these chips here. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool, that's what I wanted to happen. We're going to keep drawing. And that is a 1 strength for the Cheshire Cat. And a 3 for me. Ooh. My plan is to never draw madness again. It's going pretty well so far. I think I have, out of these 5 chips, I probably have 5 madness chips in there at this point. I'm sure. That's just what I assume in my mind. Okay. And next draw, because we haven't had 2 back-to-back madness. Yo. Oh, there's a double madness. This is fine. Everything's fine. I'm actually going to choose and remove my king. I kind of like removing those chest supporters during the fight because that gives me a little bit of flexibility to redeploy them next turn. So I lost 2 units because of this dumb double madness chip. They got 1 strength. Ka-chow. Alright. And I'm not going to halt. They're not going to halt. So, draw. It is a forge chip for me. And a card soldier for them. The card soldiers, remember, get +1. It's gain strength equal to their total number of forged and other active card soldier chips. Of course, they're not going to forge the card soldier chips, but if they draw their other card soldier, they get +1 because they have an active one. So right now, that is just a 1 for them. Okay. Drawn again. A 2. 1, 2. And they will draw again. It's a 3. We're shooting go to 25, and I'm sure I'm going to beat them there, even though my bag is all madness. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So I already blew past the limit for this. So if I lose here, it'll be really insulting. But now I really want to stay alive because I would love to forge this rose. Remember, every time you forge a rose, it kind of sits there on your track. And then every time you complete a feat after that, you're going to get an extra point for all your forged roses. So that is pretty fun. I like getting extra value every time I do something. We know that they're not going to halt. I don't think I want to halt either, so let's just keep going. They have drawn their stupid creature, which gives them 3 strength. Their bag is so much better than mine. And I have drawn my Crown of the Knave 1 round too late. The next chip they draw. So even if they draw madness now, it will not matter. Okay. Sorry, I get 1 strength because of that. So I feel great. They drew a 1. They don't even get that 1. Ha! Get named. I will draw a Madness, though, and get wrecked. So, this is going back to the baggie. No, not that. Back to my supply. Please not the baggie. These are going back to the baggie, though. And so are these 4 Madness chips. So out of those, 4 of them are Madness. And actually, I think 5 of them. No, it's 4. It's 4. Okay. 40%. 2 and 5 are Madness for me. If I bust, I still have a shield. I don't feel bad about that. They still have 3 units somehow, which is the worst. I also have, you know, flamingos I can draw. I got some decent chips. I got another Alice. You know, I've got another Forge, I think. I do have a Forge ship. So I have some cool stuff to draw. I think I'm just going to draw until I get my shield flipped, then I'm going to just call it there. So next draw, they have drawn their Card Soldier, which is normally a 1, but it's going to get buffed to a 2. I was kidding when I said we're doing a 25. Oh, my Double Madness. Well, I guess I'll put that back in the bag. Okay. They're drawing again. It is a Madness. Thank goodness. It's about time they drew a Madness. I'm pretty sure, golly, they have a lot of chips. Oh, all right. And I want to. Do I halt there or do I keep pushing? Any Madness will bust me. I really like to not bust. I think I'm gonna halt there. Okay, and that makes them halt as well. Okay. At the end of any battle, they do re-strategize, and they're gonna win the fight. That'll get them a whole 2 points, which is almost 3 points. They're going to put out another one of these stupid castles. And that's it. I'm going to get the 1 point, which is so many points. But I'm also going to be able to forge a little bit. So I am going to forge this rose. And I'm going to forge this rose on here because I want this quest. I'm pretty sure I'm not supposed to have 2 quests. I'm pretty sure this was supposed to have been Strike Shard. I'm gonna wreck on that. This should have been Strike Shard. So we'll do that. I will draw the quest that I already have in my hand. That's fine. Although I guess did I draw one even? I don't know. We'll say it's even Steven. These are going down here. Although it doesn't matter. That was the last fight. So we're gonna refresh all the baggies. Okay. The rival gets to forge twice. So they're actually going to put both of these over here, meaning they are going to get another artifact for their bag. Because there were 2 of them. They get an artifact. And now, from now on, anytime they refresh their bag during battle, they're going to get 5 strength and 5 VP. Ooh. Okay. Well, that was a bit of a rough round. Not the worst, but definitely not the best. I got some ground to make up in round 2, so let's get that set up now. I'm going to shuffle these up, get these back to the start of the line. The neutral strength meter goes up to 5. Deal these out to their slots. Okay. All right. And then just like in normal mode, whoever is behind on VP, which is definitely me, is going to be taking the first turn in the second round. All right. So I really want some faction unlocks. I also really want something with 3 or more supporters. Or sorry, with 3 supporters, excuse me. Not a lot of 3s out there, but there is a faction unlock, and 2 supporters is pretty decent. Let's start there. I think I do want to grab that. I don't really want them getting quests, but you know it's 5 points, and the shield, they actually get no bonus from the shield. The rival does not use a shield during play. I also wouldn't mind getting some more roses. Those roses are pretty cool. I could start here and start forging those. That's not a bad plan, because if they get a 3, they'll go all the way up. I think I'm just going to play it safe. I really want to get this faction unlock. They could take it from me. I'm going to toss this. I'm going to get pawn promotion. This is the thing that's going to let me move my knight around. Hopefully this will start to even things up for the old white queen. So we're going to get 2 supporters. Oh, sorry, I forgot to move the start battle marker. That's going to go 1 space clockwise. So I got 2 supporters. Let's do... I didn't kill the knight off last round. Yeah, that's rough. So I'd have to, if I want to be able to bring that knight over to Wit's End, I would need to put out a lot of supporters and run out and then be able to move from excess. And I think I'm going to go for Tulgi Wood. Let's move these out of my way. All right. I like that. I think that's good. Got my 2, got my leader upgrade, or faction upgrade, and that's it. So we're going to move over to them. They're going to flip. They're only moving 2. They do get that stupid quest. Remember, if they get 2 quests and keep 1, they just draw a quest. That's it. That's going to power all their creatures as well. So that's unfortunate. But that's fine. I can handle it. I have the mental equipment to be able to deal with this. All right, and that's all they get. They just get the 5 points, up to 27. Yikes. Okay. My next pick, a strong creature and a weak creature. This is a rough card for this composition. I kind of like this 6. I also kind of like a weak and a strong flamingo. It's not bad. We don't have any other 3s except for this. Actually, this might not be a bad time to take this, honestly. I feel like I'm cruising past a lot of chips. And I do kind of want the flamingos. Huh. Man. Let's do... I'm going to hop here and take 1 more flamingo. I also like to live dangerously. And we're going to put this up. Do I really want to do that? Not really. Do I want to take on the white rabbit again and get smushed? Also, not really. But I got to do something, so let's go. All right, we got that. And actually, I'm going to deploy 1 of these instead. I forgot to sweep these. Kind of important. 1, 2, 3. +1 strength for each active chip you have with a different border color. I like this a lot. I would love to have that. We also have a new one, the Jabberwock. The winners of the battle in Jabberwock's region add 1 poison chip to their bags. If you lose the Jabberwock during battle, add a poison chip to your bag. He's a 4 strength standee, but of course, it can be a little hairy if you win with him. Of course, it's even better if somebody else beats him, so it's kind of cool. Yikes. I feel like if I take that, I'm going to end up with a lot of poison chips. Or I could give them all out, which would be hilarious. Okay, where was I? I don't even remember what I was doing. I was so distracted by this. I just got this card here. I put my 2 supporters out. I did not get my flamingo chip. Yes, flamingos. That's my 2nd turn, and now it's back to the Cheshire Cat. Reveals, they got a 1. They got a stupid strong rose. And 2 supporters that are going to Wit's End. Okay. Whatever. Now it's my turn. Now I think I definitely want to go here. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, get this out of here. You know, 2 of their next 3 options have the shard die. I don't think I'm afraid to roll the shard die. I think I'm going to take both of these, even though the 1 leader strength is not very much value for a whole shard die roll, but I wouldn't mind getting my leader strength up to 2. I feel like that's a good, meaningful increase. So let's roll. And get 2 shards. Okay. Whatever. Everything's fine. Puts me 1 shard ahead in the race to the bottom. And then I got my 3 supporters. Huh. Oh no, everything's fine though. Alright, I'm going to put 1, 2 there, and now I'm out of supporters, so the knight actually moves over here, which is what I want. I really want to be able to go long in this fight, hopefully get some cool value out of that knight up front, and then be able to use pawn promotion to move him to the next location. So I, hopefully I be able to drop supporters in multiple places. That's my goal. Yeah. All right, so that's my card. Now it is their 3rd card. 3rd card for the Cheshire Cat is gonna be another 1. They'll move here. They will take a strong and a weak. This is actually kind of good. I kind of like them having that strong creature because they have 3 quests in there. So this gives them a 2 and a 3 chip basically so far. So yeah, I'm alright with that. And yes, they do roll the die. Oh yeah, it's a 2. I was worried there. I thought it was going to land on that 1. Okay. This goes away. They get 1 supporter. It's going to Wit's End. I like that because I'm still ahead here, and I really want that to go long enough for me to draw an artifact to be able to activate pawn promotion. So, feeling good. All right. I have 2 more for the round. I would kind of like to strike some shards, maybe get some Forge. Forge is a 1 strength chip, and it does allow me to do cool stuff. I'm going to peek in my bag just like you're not supposed to. When you play, I don't have any roses. Don't tell anyone that I did that. I feel like Ben and Tim Eisner will be like, no, you weren't supposed to. But you know what? I did it anyways. So fortune is not as good as I want it to be. I also really want to do this. I don't mind losing the 1 and 1 supporter. I mean, I'm kind of upset about it. I also would not mind not rolling another die. I think I'm just going to slow roll it. Of course, if they draw a 3 on their next card, then they're going to take my Wonderlandian, which I would be so mad about. Because I do actually really want this. I feel like I have a decent spread of colors. Let's check again. Let's take a look and see what my spread of colors is. These do count as their own color, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I've got a decent spread of colors. Although I have a lot of Wonderlandian chips. It's also more 1s, but like the 1s actually, like it's a chance to get more strength. I like this card anyways. Yeah, I think I might. I think I'm just gonna skip ahead to it, and I'm just gonna take 1 supporter, which is gonna go from here. I get this out of here. I don't even want this. Put it here. You can have the Pool of Tears, you monster. Yeah, we'll do that. And no roll, because I don't have any supporters, of course. And we'll take the Wonderland, and we're going to do this. This also buffs my Alice chips. I like this a lot. This seems fun. Okay, so Alice is getting beefier. My knights are getting more powerful. Everything's coming together. Still losing by 155 points, but that's okay. Got my card. Yes. I wonder if that counts as this. I would assume so. I'm going to say yes. I'm making the call on the spot, and I'm not going to look it up at the rules to prove myself wrong, because that would make for some really bad television. I'm not going to make you all wait through that. Get this back here. No, this is right. Okay. And then they're going to take their penultimate turn by moving 2. See, they weren't even going to steal my thing. I was just so worried about it. And this is great because they're going to get 2 flamingos. I really don't want them getting quests, because quests are just points for them. But they also roll the die, which I do like. That's 1 shard for them. Hopefully I don't roll a 3, and everything's going to be great. Okay. I'm doing my lap here. Hopefully I don't explode. Yes. Just the 1. It's everything I ever wanted. And we're going to reveal these. Ooh, is that a Wonderlandian and 2 shard strikes? And also not very many shards? And also not very many supporters? I feel pretty good about that. I have no chips in my bag. I don't know why I'm even here. But let's see what else we draw. We got, ooh, the Queen of Hearts. This is one of the new ones as well. The first time each Tea Party, the Queen of Hearts, is placed into or moved to a region, all opponents lose 1 supporter from that region. So it kind of does what the Queen of Hearts does, the leader does in the base game. Pretty cool. I would like that. That would be an hilarious thing to drop. Duchess is also pretty good. I like getting points for doing stuff. Jabberwock is hilarious, though. Like, if I just got the Jabberwock and put him in Pool of Tears and just let them win, I could get 2nd place in the fight pretty easy, and they would just take a poison chip, probably, right? I do like that. I could grief them, or I could just put it, like, you know, in a wit's end and have a huge advantage, but then end up taking poison chips myself. I don't know, I like this a lot, but let's look at some other options. Wouldn't mind having this. I did get that extra forge chip, I think. Look at my bag again. Don't tell anyone, please. Please don't. I have 2 forge chips. You know, I don't have very many quests. I'm just going to do this. I'm going to go for it. I'm going to drop a couple of shards. I'm going to get 1 supporter, which is not going anywhere. I'm going to take the Jabberwock and see if I can be a stinker. So the Jabberwock is going to go into this region just because I'm a monster. Yeah, let's do that. I would really like another chip, but you know, now Alice's chips are 4s. Like, that feels really good to me. This is strike 2 shards. I did that. I got the 1 supporter out. I got the Wonderland. That's all. I'm done. Dunzo. And now the Cheshire Cat's going to take their last card. They're moving 2. Oh, they strike 2 shards! No, don't tell me. Okay. Okay, they get 1 supporter out. That is going to the Pool of Tears. See, I told you they're going to make dumb decisions. And they get a forge chip, which, gosh, I sure wish they didn't have that. Okay. So that's their last card. That's my last card, I think. Yes. And we're done with the Tea Party. I'm going to deploy my leader. I know their leader's headed to the Pool of Tears, hilariously. I wonder if they're going to win that. I'm going to go to... I want to go to Tully Wood because it doesn't have a chess piece there. I would really like to get my opening chip there. Just in case I don't get the knight to move. Ooh, Is this what I want? Do I want to go there, or do I want to go to Meadow of Living Flowers just to make sure that I can get that? Because they only have 2 units there, but also, I mean, you know, with pawn promotion anyways, I may be able to move one of them anyways. So like, so unit 2, please remove. Let's do let's do this. We're going to go for Meadow. Just for the 2 strength and the extra unit. I think that's probably better, because that White Rabbit is not to be underestimated. Okay, so we're going to begin up in... Gosh, do I just want to send the White Queen up to Wit's End? I can't make up my mind about anything, so no, I'm just going to land here in Meadow. We'll live with the consequences. Wit's End, nobody starts with any strength. Wait, first off, I remembered. We're going to get some nasty madness chips. Look at me. This is the same feeling I get whenever I file my taxes on time. Like, yes, I did the right thing in a timely fashion. Okay. So, no starting strength. We do have our active tactic, which is cowardly. They're going to bail if, they're going to halt if they have only 1 unit remaining, or if my strength exceeds the rivals by 6 or more. But at the start of the battle or when revealed, the rival gains 2 strength. They'll re-strategize if they halt, or if we both draw the same strength chip. So I'm just going to move these because they're in my way. Okay, so they're going to start with 2 strength. Yep. Because of their strategy card, or their tactics card. I am going to start with no strength, but I do get my free draw. It is the Crown of Knaves, which is wonderful. I can pull a supporter from anywhere and put it into Wit's End. I think I'm actually not going to do that. It would have been nice if I had another supporter, but I don't. So, yeah, that's fine. I'll get my 1 strength, and then we can continue like adults. I have drawn a 3. That's exactly what I want, because now I will be able to promote a pawn at the end of this. 1, 2, 3. Cheshire Cat draws a 1, which is a 0. Thanks. Thanks, Crown of the Knave. Next draw is another Crown of the Knave. Oh my gosh. It's a massacre. They've drawn a 2. They do get the strength for this one this time. No, that's not me. Right? I am 1, 2, 3, 4. Right. Okay. So they get 2 strength for their chip. I will get 1 strength for mine. Cool. And we have not yet drawn the same strength chip, so nothing there. Another artifact, which is fine. 2, 3. They've drawn a 2, but it's reduced to 0 because of my crown. Okay. What a bloodbath this is. It's great. I feel wonderful. We're going to keep trying. I drew Madness, so there's that. I'm going to remove the Knight because I want to. Part of that is because it's just, I like having the Knight around for flexible deployment in the next round, but also, like, I can still, with a pawn promotion, I can either deploy it or move it. And I know I'm going to do the Knight, so, like, that's just a better choice for me right now. Okay, and then their draw is a... Did I already get my strength? I can't remember anything anymore because I'm so busy talking to y'all and walking you through this. I should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strength. I do have 8 strength. Yes, and they have... That was canceled. They started with 2 and then 4. So yep, they're right. And they still need to draw 1. And it is Madness. So they will kill a unit. And if the rival halts, or if you draw the same base strength as the rival. So we have not done that. Alright, next round. I drew a 1. They draw a 3. Boop, boop, boop. I don't believe that, actually, I didn't check for this. I don't think there was any point where I had 6 more strength than them, so we're good to go. We're going to keep going. I got my first Flamingo. That's a 1 plus 2 more. That'll be 3. Nope. Wrong one. 1, 2, 3. They are drawing a 3. Could they stop with the 3s, please? 1, 2, 3. Remember, it's just the same base strength that we check on. So we're good to go. Keep on keeping on. Another Flamingo. That's a 1 for me. And they have drawn another 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I have these 2 flamingos. If I halt with exactly 2 flamingos, I do draw a quest, but I think I have 1 more flamingo in the bag. I'm not looking in the bag, by the way. That's against the rules, and I would never do that. So, oh boy. I don't think I want to halt there. Like, I think I need to keep pushing and getting this advantage. I want to get this castle in place. And I think I might be able to make them kind of, like, if they draw 1 more madness, they're going to halt. So, yeah, I think I'm gonna keep going. They have drawn their weak creature plus 3, so they get a 4. Well, that's not what I wanted. 4. I will draw. Ooh. This is a 1, 2, 3. Not bad. So 3 for me. 2, 3. Yeah, that was the Lucky Unicorn hair. When played, this chip gains +1 strength for each active chip you have with a different border color. I like that. I'm here for it. Okay, we're gonna keep trying. This was the same base strength, so they do re-strategize. And they have run out of cards, so in the tactic deck, we're just gonna reshuffle. Their new active tactic, actually, sorry, I should put this on top, is cautious. If they have 2 or fewer units remaining, they're gonna halt. At the start of battle, or at the start of the battle, the rebel places 2 supporters in the active region, which it's already past the start of the battle phase, so we don't do that. This is great. They have halted. That means I get to continue drawing with impunity. Of course, I'll just draw Madness until I die. I don't have a shield, so I can just draw a double Madness here and bust, and I would lose my mind. Oh my gosh. Alright, well now I have a real decision. Do I want to keep going? If I bust, I will not be able to play the knight. But if I fold here, I would just lose out on 4 points. I mean, it's an 8-point swing, which I can't really afford. This is one of those moments. It's Wonderland's War. This is going to decide pretty much the whole game. Let's draw. Oh, thank goodness. That's a 1, though. Not really what I wanted. Yikes. Do I draw again? I feel like I have 2 more Madness chips there. It's 2 out of 9, so 22.22% chance. 1 in 5, basically. I don't feel great about the odds, especially with basically the whole game riding on it. I'm just going to be a chicken and I'm going to halt there. I'm going to regret that, but we both get 8 points. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't get the castle. No, you know what? I want that castle. I'm going to draw. I'm going back. We're rewinding this. Where was I at? Was I at 5, really? I feel like I was at 6. I'm going to say I was at 6, and if I wasn't, then great. I'm going to draw. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. Alice is a 4, which is really, really good. 1, 2, 3, 4. And now I will hold for sure, because I have to. All right, so now I get 8, you get 4. Go to 14. You get 4, go to 31. And I do get to flip my castle to a full castle. Okay. And then for end of battle stuff, they actually get nothing up here. So we're just going to toss those down. Great. My chips, I did not get a single forge, did I? Wow. Wow. But I do get to use, I had an active artifact, so I'll get to use my pawn promotion, which means I can place this out here at the cost of a supporter, which is wonderful. No. And now I'm very ready to fill up my track. If I had drawn a Madness, I would have just like put the Madness back in. My bag would have been all Madness. I'd have been down like 300 points. Yeah, so, all right. Whew. We're going over to Tulgi Wood, and there's no strength here for either player. Let's look over here. Do we have a re-strategize? The Rebel did halt, so we're going to flip this to a new tactic. And this is Cautious Cowardly, only 1 unit remaining. We actually saw this in the last one. So the start of battle, they're going to get 2 strength. Yep. And I do get an opening chip because of my knight. I'm sure it's going to be madness. Oh, it's the unicorn here. It's only a 1 right now. But I do get to place a supporter there, which makes me feel a lot better about my chances. So that'll be 1 strength for me. Okay. I would like to draw this later. Okay, and now we draw, and we are going to draw until he has 1 unit remaining. If my strength exceeds his by 6, and he re-strategizes if he halts, or if we draw the same number. Madness. Excellent. That's what I like to see. Finally. I also drew madness, which is what I kind of wanted. I am refreshing my bag. Come on. Let's go. I don't know why I'm talking to my chips, as though I weren't crazy. Alright. So I did that. I have refreshed my bag. They have reached a halt conditions. They are going to halt. Right there. And of course I can continue going until I have managed to beat the purple cube. Which, yeah, let's do it. I got a flamingo. Oh, I forgot. The last round I had 2 flamingos out on my track. I did not draw a 3rd, so I get to actually draw a quest. What a good day. 2 or 6 active chips in Wit's End. 4 or more with a shard die, which I think I probably already have. There's 1. No! 2, 3. Great. All right. Well, I don't mind this at all. Where was I? I was drawing chips. I got 3 strength from that. 2, 3, because that flamingo, it gets +2. It's the first flamingo on my active tractor in the battle. Okay. Let's go. 1 more. Alice. I would have liked to save these really strong chips for the next fight, but that is a 4, and it does send me into the lead. I'm just going to move not even my own chip. Jeez, what am I doing here? It's 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. It's actually this. So 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. At long last, I've got here. Cool. I get Forge, which is nice. I kind of want more supporters, actually. But I don't really want to forge any of these chips. Unless I just do like a unicorn here. That'll probably be fine. Yeah, let's do one. I feel bad about it, but I feel very guilty. Alright. This should be a single. That's another typo on this. I'm glad we're doing this. Glad we got all this business. Okay. And then I get 6 points. Look at me catching up. And I get a little half castle. And since the Cheshire Cat was behind on the track, they were behind the purple, they actually do not get the 2nd place points. This hops down. Now, I would like to use pawn promotion, but I did not have an active artifact, so I was unable to use that and to redeploy the knight again, which is fine. That's okay. I have only, a couple more fights. I really would have only used it here, and I have plenty of chess pieces over there anyways, so I think we're okay. All right, moving on. We're going to head over to Meadow of Blooming Flowers. I would kind of like to do this in a battle with exactly 2 or 6 active chips. We'll see if we can. If not, whatever. I'm here to win. We do need to reveal, yeah, because they rival halted, so they re-strategize. And double the VP gained in battle by the rival if the rival's battle for, or they halt if their battle tracker lands on a forged space. They re-strategize if they forge a chip, or if I draw a Wonderlandian chip. Okay. All right. To start the battle, we have 0 strength and 0. Oh wait, I do have 2 strength because I leveled up my White Queen like a boss. I do get to draw my opening chip, so let's do it. It's a forge. That's cool. All right. I've chosen to kind of seed my bag with a bunch of little weenie chips to try and abuse that night synergy. But of course, I mean, you know, it's really good if you can just dump an early red rook or something, right? So, let's see. I've got all this. Yeah. So we're ready to draw our first chips. And they drew Madness right off the bat. They're only going to halt if they land on a forge space, though. So they're drawing that. I will draw a double Madness. Oh my gosh. It's not what we wanted. This is okay, though. This is okay. I don't have a shield, so kind of hoping this goes well. Okay. Next draw is their first Flamingo for 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That Flamingo is wild. It's out of control. I draw a 4. Hey, now we're talking. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, unfortunately, I did draw a Wonderlandian chip, and that is going to make them, where is it? It's going to make them re-strategize. So we're going to flip this, and start the battle on the thing. If they have 2 or fewer units remaining, they are going to halt, so they do halt now. Thank goodness. I still get the draw for the round. I will... I'll draw. Yeah. Because I know I'm not going to get... That's nice. I know I'm not going to get anything else like that, so I'll get 1, 2, 3. I was trying to draw something that I wanted to forge. I'm probably just going to forge this forge chip, though. Because I think that's right. Yeah. Okay, so battle's over. I'm going to get my 6 points. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't remember exactly what happens whenever they tie the dummy cube, but I assume that they just get the second points like normal. If I were a good person, I would just look it up in the rules, but I don't want to spend time on the air doing that, so I'm just going to do whatever I want, which is the best part about solo mode. You can just do things you want. So, I've got all that business. I get to forge. Do I want more supporters? I mean, kind of, but I also want upgrades. I want that leader track upgrade. I'm probably just going to go for this, though. I think this is probably right. I also wouldn't mind artifacts, but whatever. I did actually draw an artifact, so I can use Pawn Promotion, and I can actually remove this and just put my knight out. It's going to drop my total number of supporters. I wasn't able to assign a hit to the knight while it was down here, but I could put this up here. I mean, you know, worst case scenario, I can just like draw more chips and just have them, you know, draw Madness or whatever it is. You know, we'll see if it works. Also, I kind of don't want them to draw more chips, honestly. Maybe I won't do that. I think I'm probably just going to stay and say no thank you. I could put the king out, but I think I want to hang on to him. I could also put the queen up there. I can move her, but I think I'm okay. I think I'm good without doing that. I mean, I guess I could just do like this for a couple extra strength and a preemptive chip draw. You know, I like that. Oh no, but then my first hit would have to be allocated to the Jabberwock. I really don't want that to happen, so no thank you. I would like to not get blown out by my own card effects, because remember, if I allocate a hit to the Jabberwock during battle, I would poison myself. So, yeah, okay. Let's do this. Let's see how it is. We're moving up here. I start with 4 strength. And they're going to start with 2 strength from their leader. I don't get any opening chip draws. Oh, sorry, up here I was supposed to get a little half castle. I forgot. All right. Cool, and that's going to be it. Now, we're pretty close to the Cheshire Cat refreshing. Remember, every time they refresh their bag, they're going to get strength and BP equal to the number of forge chips they have. Actually, does 5 have it? It does. They actually landed on 5 in the last fight. I should have forged them 1 more chip. And that actually is going to add a third artifact to their bag. So I did forget a little bit about that, but that's okay, I remember. Okay, so this one was, we already did that, so we're going to reveal their next tactic. And aggressive, they do not hold voluntarily, so that's going to be pretty good. At the start of the battle, when this tactic revealed, they place a supporter in the region. Perfect. So let's go. I don't have an opening chip, so we're just trying normally. These can get out of here, please. Alright, I ended up with an artifact. That's kind of cool. 1, 2, 3. They have drawn a 1. Okay. Wits End, I want to end with exactly 2 or 6 active chips. That is where I'm going. I forgot to check if I even did this. I had 3, I think, so no, I did not. Yeah, let's push one more. Yoop. Oh, it's madness. All right. And they've drawn also a madness. So they're going to lose a unit. And that's going to reset their bag. They're going to get 6 points and 6 strength. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And 6 points. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Because they have 6 forged chips over there. That's their main ability does. All right. They're going to refresh their bag. Okay. That's a little bit rough. So I can keep going. If I would really like to get this quest done, and I would really like to not take a poison from the Jabberwock. I'd also really like to get second place. Like, that's 4 points. It's meaningful. And I am currently in second place, which is great. I have 3 more madness chips out of here, so it's a 25% chance. And I don't have a shield to protect myself. I can always try and do this next round. Ugh. You know, if I do it next round, I have a better chance of, like, you know, maybe I can forge some of these roses, you know? I can wait a little bit on this. I think that's okay. And I think I want to go for that. I'm not doing great with the quest stuff. Like, I've drawn 1 from the Flamingo, and like I haven't got any points from these roses yet. So I've had my attention a little divided. I think I've focused a little too hard on Wonderlandians, but this has been really fun. So like, I think that's okay. I think I just halt there. So they're gonna draw their chip for the round. It's gonna be the 2. They're gonna hop up here. That's it. And battle over. They will get 8 points. Ooh. Up to 48. I will get 4 points. Up to 30. They will flip their little half castle. And they get a poison because the winners of the battle in Jabberwock's region add 1 poison chips to their bags. So I like that, especially going into the last round. Poison chips, if you don't remember, are the Jabberwock's thing. It's a one-time effect, and whenever you draw it, you just lose a unit, just like a madness, and then it's removed from your bag for the rest of the game. So it's a one-time madness chip, basically. Okay, so that was all for battle. We completed everything. Round 2 is over. Oh my gosh, what time is it? I feel like it's been a while. TTS is just so slow, and also I'm walking through everything at like a snail's pace. So making sure I explain all my decisions that I'm agonizing over. But we're ready to start round 3. We're most of the way through this, guys. I promise we're going to finish one day. This is going to move here. The Red Keep is closed, remember? So our starting battle is in Tilgy Wood. And let's get some cards out. Let's see if I can cover this gap going into the last round. I caught up a little bit that round. That felt pretty good. No move. This goes up to 7. These are going back to the start. I feel pretty good about this round, just mainly because, like, you know, they start with all their supporters. Unlike, you know, a human player would have some of them locked. They start with all of them, but they only have 5 to deploy this round, and I feel like they may end up wasting some. So yeah, like if they get this, they're just putting all 5 in one place, and then like they might just be out. One of the other rules for the solo mode is if they're out of supporters and they would deploy a supporter, since like you can't make them choose a way to like you pick which one moves from where, they don't be able to, they're not able to benefit from that rule. Instead, it is they just get 1 point for each supporter that they could not deploy. So it's both good and bad. Why wouldn't I want to take 1,000 shards? That's not great. I kind of want them to take this because at this point this is like a 2, so that's not bad. I have a bunch of supporters that I wouldn't mind putting out. Ooh, I like the fact that my knight is already at the start location, so that's pretty cool. I think I want this. Reason being is because I could really use my shield again. Let me actually refresh my bag like a good person. I wouldn't mind refreshing my shield. Where? Huh. Get back here, Alice. I also would not mind having a 1, and if I forge from the supply, I can forge one of these roses and get this leader upgrade, which I love. So let's do that. I can get the bishop. If you unlock and deploy this bishop, and then the first opening chip you draw in the bishop's region is madness, you may draw another opening chip, which is really cool. Especially because I'm going to have 155 madness in my bag. I don't know why I keep using that number for my hyperboles, but it seems to be going fine for me. Okay, let's talk about this, because I'm going for it. I'm doing it. You can have all of those stinkers that you want. I hope that they land on this too. That'd be hilarious. So I've got this. I'm going to unflip my little shield here. I got my rose. I got my unlock. I can put the bishop out. Do I just go here? I feel like I probably want to do this. Yeah, I think so. I think my plan is win here if I can. Win here if I can. Lose here, give them another poison chip, and then win in Wit's End. That's what I'd love to do. And then hopefully each of those times I can bounce the knight around. Yeah. So let's aim for that. I get to put 1 supporter out, and that will go to... Let's do Meadow. Got that, got that, got that. Cool. Alright. That was my turn. And next up is the Cheshire Cat. Let's see where they're going. They're going to move 1. Yes, this is what we wanted. And it's going to go to Wit's End, which is kind of bad. But, oh, that really hurts. They're out of supporters, though. So, like, I could just be good and just deploy all the rest of my things to, like, right to Wit's End. Just have a huge battle there. Hopefully they halt from some wonky conditions at some point, and I can win that. Because they're already basically at halt conditions in Tulkywood and Meadowwood Flowers. I think I like the strategy. I think I'm just going to leave these as they are and just dump everything in Wit's End and see if I can pull it off. Yeah. I have to win those. Yeah, let's do it. Okay. So they're taking this card. They got this. Their chip of choice is going to be this stinker. It is a weak chip, so they're going to get 1 more of these chips to their bag. 30 chips. Okay. Yikes. Okay. Now what do I want? I still need one thing that I still need 1 leader or faction unlock. I still need 1 card that has a die. And 1 card, I think, that has 3 or more supporters. Or with 3 supporters. I keep saying that. There's 1, 2. Right? Did I have 1 more? 1. This is 2. I think that counts. 3. Oh, I have 4. I have 4 already. So this is done. I don't need to care about this. Did I complete this? I didn't. No. Okay. But I do need one with a die on it, correct? I have 1, 2, 3. So I do need one with die. You know, I wouldn't mind having more roses. So, oh, this is what I want. I really like these, especially for the strategy. This is really good. Okay, so I'm going to do this. And then if I get one more forge, then I'm good on my leader, my faction upgrades. So I get this. I'll get a leader strength and 2 units to deploy. I think I'm just going to go with both of these dudes right up here. Stay with the plan. Hope it works out. Hope that I don't draw 6 madness in a row and lose Meadow Living Flower at the last possible and most heartbreaking moment. Okay. Yeah, I like this. Next up is Cheshire Cat. Cheshire Cat's going 1 space. Beep. They're going to get this stinky thing. That's great. They're going to put 2 units out, so they just get 2 points instead, because they can't. And they get a strong creature. It's good. I like forcing them to do dumb things. Okay, I'm going to go... I mean, that's pretty juicy. I kind of like it. I could just do this. I'm already ahead on shards. And I've been jumping around this track as though there were no tomorrow. I think I need to get one more. Yeah, let's get one more card. I think... what, I have 3 more cards to go? Let's do this. I think I'm just going to take this. I like the 6 a lot. But I think I'm going to stick to these low strength ones and try and get that night value. It's good. That's like not really a reason to not get it. But I also kind of like the idea of not getting this madness because I'm a little bit nervous about madness. I'm going to take 2 chips at the end of the round anyways. I don't really need the supporters, so I think I'm okay. Alright, Cheshire Cat is going 3. 1, 2, 3. Yes. Alright, so they're going to lose a chip. Oh, this actually kind of stinks a little bit. So they're going to lose a chip. They're going to take a quest, which is 5 points. It does weaken their strong creatures, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 55. And they will also lose 2 supporters from 1 region. And whenever you place or lose units, you check, of course, this card. They will lose 2 units. They only have 1. That's okay. I think I like that. I should, you know, if I can get Tulgi Woods uncontested. I guess it's not really ever uncontested, but because of the NPC. But yeah. All right, my turn. I gotta refresh, so let's do it. This is out of here. Let's roll this die. Hopefully get a 1. No! All right, at 5. 5 to 2. Okay. Okay. 4, 5. Not a lot of Wonderlandies out. I did forget to purge the queue over here because I always forget that. We have some nice stuff. We have Cheshire Cat. The first time each tea party the Cheshire Cat is placed or moved into a region, remove any 1 supporter from that region and place one of your supporters in that region. So he does the same thing that Cheshire Cat does with his unlocks and stuff, which is pretty cool. When played, all opponents in the region gain a shard. And I like that it's a 1, but the shard is not going to do much for me. When played, choose 1 opponent in the region. They must return 1 madness chip to their bag. That's kind of cool. I don't like the fact that it's a 0. Yeah. Not only is the 0 bad for the knight, because the knight needs specifically a 1 or a 2, but also the fact that it's just a 0 anyways. Yeah, I don't think I want those. I don't think I'm gonna push for any more Wonderlandians unless I really want to get this. I like the idea of Alice as being 5. Artifact chip from your forge track is cute. Maybe 3 supporters. I could do. I mean, this is pretty cool too. I really don't want to roll this shard dice though. Draw 2 quests, keep 1. Actually, honestly, like, I have 3 of these. Each of those is going to be plus 3 points that I do. Let's try this out. I think I want to give it a shot. I would end up being out. I wouldn't have all the supporters that I want. But I think that's okay. I also need... Ooh, hang on. Wait. I do need shards, or shard dice on my cards. I could just do this and then not take the extra thing. It would count for that. I'm going to get this anyways, hopefully. So, that's not bad. I don't really care all that much about that chip. If they get this, they're going to get so many points. I'm going to be so mad. Let's do this. This is kind of wonky. I don't know. I might be a fool for doing this, but I'm going to draw 2. Discard a quest of my choice. Complete set of allied ships. I'm not going to get that. 3 or more different forged allied ships. I only have 1 allied ship forged, so I'm not going to get either of these probably. But final active chip strength 1, but you can only do 1 per battle. So I'm just going to toss this. Yeah. All right. Let's see how that goes. Okay, and then Cheshire Cat's turn. They're going to reveal move 3. Boop, boop, boop. They will take 2 3-strength flamingos. Those are pretty good. Especially if they're drawing them 5-point quests. Yikes. They're going to put a supporter out in the meadow. Ugh. And they will roll the die, which I do want them to do. 1 less than I wanted. Okay. This is my last card of the game. Ugh. You know, maybe that's not bad. Man. This just isn't quite good enough. This is not bad. I'm going to take 2 madness chips and I'm going to be salty about it. I mean, I could just do this and rearrange a bunch of my dudes. I don't even know who I would rearrange, though. Man. You know, if I rearrange and put Jabberwock in Wit's End, I actually like that a lot. Because it's the very last battle of the game. And if I dump strength there, then I probably won't be in bad shape. I think I'm going to do this. I think I'm just going to go for this. I'm going to go 3 and 3. I'm going to put these 4 here. I'm going to put this here. Because I don't need... Like, I wouldn't have minded getting the 4 points for second place in Puliteers. But I think I would have needed another unit there to do it, and I didn't want to deploy anything there. I can also move stuff around. I think I'm going to stay, though. Like, this actually might not be bad. Ah, man. No, I think I'm good here. I think I'm good. Okay. All right. Again, I did not develop my bag very much, so my bag is kind of wonky. But also, like, I have a lot of, high-value stuff in my bag, so, like, I kind of want to leave it as it is. And then just add madness to it. That's all I needed to add. Uh, next is the last turn for the Cheshire Cat. They're moving 2. They're going to get a freaking rook. The rook. And 2 supporters, which is going to turn into 2 points. Gosh, they got a lot of points out of that this round. That was not as cute as I was hoping it was going to be. Okay. Great. Perfect. I will place my leader. I think she's just got to go here. And then Cheshire Cat's going to Pool of Tears. Like a schmuck. Great. So first battle over here. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to draw the knight or draw my opening chip here or get the knight stuff. But I do get to flip this. I get 8 points for it. I go to 38. Oh, sorry, hang on. Correction. I do have to beat this. So let's see how that goes. I draw my opener. It is Flamingo. That's 5 points for me. 4, 5. I don't get to deploy any supporters because it's not a 1 or 2 base strength chip, but I don't have any supporters anyway, so no problem. I will draw again. It's a knave. Wow. Cool. Next draw. That's a 3. That's actually pretty good. And I do have to halt there. I do not get to forge. These are tossed down. Oh no. 2 or 6. And I had to draw there or else I wouldn't have gotten. Yeah. Dang. I mean, it's almost worth considering, like, do I just take second place there and get 4 points, no castle? That would be a 7-point drop, but I would get 6 points for that, so no, it would not be worth it. But, you know, that's fine. Okay, I was just thinking about halting there ahead of time so that I could complete this quest. That would mean that I would not have gotten 7 strength to beat that, so I would have gotten 2nd place in the region. So, I don't complete this, which stinks, but I do get to use pawn promotion. So let's toss this, move this guy over. Cool. No forges, nothing else. So I got my 8 points, I got my castle. And now I go to 38. Cool. That's it. Moving on to the Meadow of Living Flowers. Their tactic card is Mercurial. If they only have 1 unit remaining, they'll halt. Treats it as though they have +2 forge count. And if the rival draws a madness chip, they will re-strategize, which seems likely. I do get an opening chip. Boop. It is a 1. So I get to deploy this. That's kind of cool. And I have a forge chip out. Great, which I do really need. So, other than that, no starting strength. So let's draw. Ooh, madness. I drew a 3. Yes! This is going to let me have the artifact for pawn promotion. What a good day. Okay. They have taken a madness. They are going to re-strategize because that's the mercurial thing. So it does, if you do both of these conditions, you do the re-strategize instead. Now they are going to halt now, so that is a known factor. But I can continue drawing. I should actually have 4 strength so far. I don't know why I haven't been adjusting my total. I would love to halt there. Should I? I would get 6 points instead of 12. But I'd be able to complete this. It would be 3 6 points plus the 3 more, so 9 points. Oh. It's 9 points to 9 points, so I think it's an even split. Yeah, it is even. Do I care about that? I might not. Yeah, I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. Is there anything that I really want to draw or really want to not draw? I wouldn't mind drawing madness and getting it out of my bag right now. think I'm fine halting. Unless, I guess I could land on a forge space. But I don't really, I guess like the forge would be that. Ooh. I'm just gonna halt there. So I do complete this quest. I get 6 points. 4, 5, 6. I don't get the castle upgrade. It's gonna be the same number of points in the end. Since I completed this, I do immediately get 3 points. And remember, I haven't scored the points for any of my other feats yet. I'm only getting the other rose points here. Because remember, this rose is each time you complete a feat, you get a VP for each of your forged and active roses. So, all right, the chip I'm going to forge is this one. That lets me unlock my last faction upgrade. Now, I have a revealed attack. My pendant chips, my artifacts gain +1 strength. And each time I draw an opening pendant, I gain a victory point. Hooray! So this is going down here. And I also get to use pawn promotion since I had an active pendant. So I'm going to remove this and move my knight over here. Great. All right. Pool of Tears, no I guess there is a contest. They are going to need to beat the 7 there. They halted, but they only re-strategize if they draw a 1 strength chip. So they're going. There it is. It's a 1 strength chip. They get 1 strength. Yep. If your strength exceeds a rival, but nope. When revealed, they get 2 strength. Okay. And now we can kind of continue from there. Only 1 unit remaining, or if the rival halts, draw the same base strength. No problem. So they're just going to keep going. They got a 1. They got a 1, buffs up to a 3. And they got a 1. Great, I'm glad they're getting all their terrible, terrible chips out of their bag. Cool, they do get a forge space from the supply, from the battle track there. And they reset. They do win the 8 points there. Up to 15. All right. It's coming down to it. Over here, we have everything. Everything is here. I am starting off with, I did forget to get my leader strength, didn't I? Did I not? No, I'm right. So I'm at 3 strength, plus 2 strength, plus 4 strength. So I'm starting with 9. They are starting with nothing. Their new tactic, oh wait, hang on. Their new tactic is they draw 2 madness in a row, and at the start of the battle, or when revealed, rival refreshes their bags. They are going to get a refresh. That's actually really good for me because that helps avoid the Cheshire's ability. They're going to get 7 strength and 7 points if they refilled. And I imagine they were probably gonna. They still might, honestly. But I feel like this head start here and the strength, like all this stuff, I feel like that's going to be enough to carry me to 25 before they get too far ahead. Also, I have no idea what pink is and what white is, so we'll swap those back. If anybody draws 2 madness in a row, that's when they're going to swap. Okay. So I draw my opening chip. It is the Knave. And I do get to place a supporter because I have the knight out there. That's so good. I've gotten to put out so many supporters with that knight. That feels cool. I'm good to go. Your next chip is going to be a stinker. I get 1 strength. Let's go. Madness. And unicorn hair for 1 strength. I have too many Wonderlandians. That's my problem. Okay. So there's that. Oh, no strength for you. Sorry. You just get to remove a cat. All right. And yeah, you wouldn't have anyways. So that knave crown, unfortunately, did not reduce their strength at all. I will draw a madness because, oh, why wouldn't I? They will draw a Cheshire grin. 1, 2, 3. Next draw. I got double madness, but it's okay because I don't know. I have 1,000 units here. Why would I care? I did also, no, I didn't. They will draw another Cheshire. 1, 2, 3. Now, I think I did actually draw 2 Madness in a row. So they are going to re-strategize. Brilliant tactics. When revealed during the battle phase, the rival forges a forged chip from the supply. Yikes. That is going to be their 8th chip. And they are going to get their last Cheshire Grin artifact chip. They halt only when they have 1 unit remaining, and they only re-strategize the end of battle. So in this case, we're just going to go until we drop. I have drawn Alice for 4 strength. They have drawn a card soldier. See, I told you they were dumb. All those card soldiers. My next draw is a pendant, which is actually 4 strength because of my leaderboard upgrade. But since it's not an opening chip, I don't get the VP for it. So, unfortunately. Their draw is a Madness. Wow. Goodbye, cat. They're actually, I think, ahead of me on units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, I'm actually ahead of them still. Great. My next draw is a 1. Man, I might just race him to 25. All of a sudden, this is going to be a 5, unfortunately. 2, 3, 4, 5. That's that creature. The weak creature gets +1 strength for each of their completed feats, of which they have 4. So, yeah, that's not bad, though. Next draw, I got another Alice for 4. Did that send me? Almost. And they got another one of those. It actually is a 2 this time, because it does count forged and active card soldiers. Not that it matters. Okay, all I have to do is just not draw 10 Madness in a row. A Flamingo. My man. They get a creature. It's a 5, but since it's a strong creature, it loses 1 strength for each of their completed feats. So they actually end up with 1. I told you they were dumb. Okay. So we do actually end the fight there. That's it. I do win. I get the 10 points. Thank goodness. 57. They're going to get the 5 points, which I don't like. It's going to be a close game. I think. I don't know. I don't know anything. And I get the castle, which I already had. I forgot to get the castle over here. Oh, no, I didn't get the castle, did I? Yeah, I forgot. Or more precisely, I remembered. And they don't get anything else. Okay, so we're going to final scoring. Their final score, they are going to... Oh my gosh, I forgot the shards. I forgot the Madness chips in the last round. Oh well, I'll just lose the points for that. That's fine. We'll say it. It's about the same impact. I don't feel like it would have made very much of a difference. I would have had a couple more Madness chips. I would have drawn some more Madness, but I had more than enough units everywhere. So I feel like it probably would have been about the same outcome. But we'll see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for me. And 1, 2, 3 for them. Okay. They're also going to get 3 points for each of their full castles, of which they only have 1 full castle. So just 3 points there. So right back to 20, or 70, I guess. And I think that's actually it. They don't have any other special final scoring things on their card. They lost for their chip, or their shards, and they lost, or they gained for their castles. So that's it. Mine, I have 2 full castles. They're only upgraded +1, so that's going to be 8 points for me. And I go up to 60 points. I have 2 completed feats. This I have. This I have. So these are actually going to be 18 more points. Is that right? No, wait. Yeah, it's 9 points for a full thing. Yep. So that's going to be 18 more points. This is 3 more points. And this is nothing. So I get 21 points. That is going to put me ahead by from 60 up to 81. Boop. by a good little chunk there. All right. Whew. I was pretty worried about that. I ended up doing a little bit better than I thought I would. And keep in mind that is difficulty level 2 out of 4. So feel free to judge my play to see how close it is to your skills. See if there are any calls that you would have made differently than I made that you thought were dumb, and kind of compare that to get an idea of like how hard these get. Up towards the top levels, they are pretty tough. Every faction has its own rival card, and the red queen and white queen are the final bosses because they're the queens, right? And they have some pretty strong abilities. They have some pretty wild stuff going on. The Cheshire Cat I managed to dodge that the forge ability a lot through the game. They ended up forging a ton, but they didn't actually really get to cash in on it. They didn't get to add any madness chips to my bag because I kept them off of those leader upgrade icons, which worked out for me because that was kind of my strategy, but also was nice because I got to avoid that bottom thing. So I kind of counter drafted those cards at the Tea Party to avoid that. Yeah, that was pretty fun. So thanks so much everyone for watching. If you have any questions about the solo mode, feel free to ask questions in the comments. Just add me if you want, and we'll see you during the campaign.